So let's start with a forward-looking statement. I'm sure you have never seen this slide before. So if you have not, then the simplest way to do this is actually take this whole content and put it in ChatGPT, and in a one-liner, it means that do not make any purchasing decision based on what we showed today, or evaluate the product completely before purchasing it. All right, big thank you. I know this is early morning session, so thank you so much for coming here. There are lots of sessions out here, but we will make it worth for you. So today I am joined with esteemed speakers. One is Shelby, who is actually Senior Manager for AI Research, and we have Kamaria, who is actually going to show us wonderful demo that you have not seen before today. So we have been doing innovation for the last 10 years. So we are not new to AI. Salesforce has been doing innovation for the last 10 years in AI. And what's mind-boggling in this is we were the first one to actually do something on AI with CRM. We started this journey 10 years back, and we are continuing to actually do lots and lots of innovation. And the pivotal thing of all of this has been Salesforce Research. We have been working with Salesforce Research during this point in time to actually bring you lots of innovations for you. And that started with some of the case classification and all the other things that you are actually seeing day in and day out in CRM. We have been progressing a lot, and Gen AI happened last year, and we have been working with research on that front as well. In fact, Salesforce Research published a lot of papers before even Gen AI was a thing. However, let's actually talk about what is happening in 2024. Till this point, we have been only talking about CRM. But AI is useless without data. With Data Cloud, we have been able to get all this data into one place. And whether it's zero ETL, or you actually use ETL in order to get in the data from Snowflake or any other data lakes that you have that data right now in Salesforce. You don't have to copy the data. However, that makes the AI totally powerful. Now, the combination of CRM plus AI plus data makes it a wonderful combination. But more importantly, what is the number one value of Salesforce? It is the trust. So bringing it all together makes it so powerful for us and so powerful for our customers that makes it wonderful. So how do we do this? This is our Einstein One platform. We have built this platform ground up. Of course, Salesforce, we are known for its metadata platform. That is the underlying and pivotal thing for Salesforce. We have been doing this for the last 20 years with the metadata platform. We have been App Exchange. We have been having MuleSoft in order to integrate with data sources from outside. But what's cool about all of this is the metadata. Now, whether you take Data Cloud or whether you take our Einstein One or Einstein, everything is based on the metadata platform. In middle, we have the CRM apps. Now, the CRM apps are built on top of the platform, which is also based on metadata. So what this makes? It makes everything integrated. It makes it everything intelligent with AI. And overall, we make it automated. So data plus AI plus CRM makes it all automated. Of course, Salesforce is a pioneer on low-code. So you would have seen a lot of announcements that we made yesterday in terms of how we make admins supercharged with AI. Of course, we have made everything open. So what does that mean? You can actually bring your own lakes. You can bring your own models. And that is the power of Salesforce, which we made it as open, both on Einstein layer as well as on Data Cloud. Now, what has happened? Previously, there were a lot of things that were manual. With AI, now assistants have come and you can take action. Data were siloed. Now with Data Cloud, you can get all the data into a singular place and actually act on it. You spend hours on coding. Now you don't need to do that. With AI and data, we actually can make it much simpler. Previously, there was lack of customization. You cannot actually, whatever you build, you have to build it so custom for your organization. No longer that is needed. You can actually do everything together. Now with Einstein Copilot, I'm sure you might have heard about Einstein Copilot now. In last 2 days, we have made a lot of noise about Einstein Copilot. Einstein Copilot has been a pivotal change in the way we actually work. It is a conversational interface that is enabling everyone in order to actually work with AI in a different manner. So with clicks, and actually conversations, you can actually get a lot more done. So what is actually Einstein Copilot do for you? It empowers your teams, your employees, your end consumers, work with AI in a meaningful manner. It is actually a conversational interface. We are actually making it headless so that you can actually make it work anywhere. It is also extended with clicks. So essentially, you can bring your own things using Einstein Copilot. Now, how does it work? Let's take a simple example. Let's say I want to send an email, right? And in this case, I want to send an email that actually is related to, let's say, sustainability or something related to a lead, right? How does that work? It actually is very simple. We actually have 4 steps in between. One is the conversation that someone is actually typing in. The second piece is the planning step. So in the planning step, what we do, there is a planner service that we have built, which actually takes the input, that is the conversation that has been sent, along with the history. It actually gathers that input, sends it to large language model, and behind the scenes generates a plan. This plan is what you see, a series of steps. So let's say I want to send an email to Michelle, right? Now, how do we know what is Michelle, right? So first step is to identify what that Michelle is. So that's what the first step it says, identify record. The second step after that is to generate an email. So the identify record actually goes back to CRM and actually figures out who that Michelle is. If there are multiple Michelles, it will actually ask back to the user which Michelle you are talking about. After that, it will actually take the content that is available on that record and generate an email. So you get a personalized email for that particular user. What's cool about all of this is that now you can actually revise an email. Now, as a user, you might say, Michelle actually loves certain products. So you can actually say, now go and change and revise that email so that it actually is very personalized to Michelle. Now that is all cool, right? Now let's talk about what happens behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, each of these actions are actually using something called as what we call as Copilot actions. So Copilot actions is similar to you as what we call as flows, prompts, Apex, or any APIs that you are actually well versed in Salesforce. So anything that you do is actually calling something back in Salesforce, which you already have done. So we take the existing processes that you have actually built over the large amount of years that you have been working in Salesforce and make it as a Copilot action. So within seconds, your organization will be Copilot ready. And the outcome is a beautiful email that you see in the far right. Now, let's talk about how we have transitioned between now AI. So we spoke about a lot of AI. So Copilot was a lot about AI. We spoke about how it can actually go back and talk to CRM. Now, what about any other kinds of data, like unstructured data? There is so much of data that you have in your organization, whether it's an engagement history or whether it's a voice transcript. You want to take that data and also pipe it into AI, right? This is where we have our vector database and data cloud. So with data cloud, you can get any kind of data, whether it's structured data that is available in CRM or unstructured data that is actually coming from any kind of events that are siloed from your organization. Now with vector database, you can actually do something that is more powerful. You can take this unstructured data and vectorize it, so you can create embeddings on it and actually do similarity searches. With Einstein Copilot search, we make it super simple. So with embeddings, you actually create an embedding on the unstructured data, and with Einstein Copilot search, you can actually search on it. So this is all jargon, right? You might be thinking what I'm talking about. Let's actually dumb it a little bit. So let's say I have an engagement history, and you have tons and tons of engagement history. Let's say Prithvi went onto a particular site, and he clicked on certain things, right? These are all engagement history that actually I'm getting from a site. You pipe it into, let's say, data cloud. You have that data into data cloud now. Very simple, right? I think everyone got it till here. Now what you want, let's say tomorrow, I want to find what all products Prithvi has been clicking. How will you do that? One thing is you can actually go and search on it. Very simple. If you go and do a keyword search, it might be hit or a miss. The other way to do it is what we call as embeddings. What we do is, based on each of the clicks of unstructured data, we actually create something behind the scenes for you so that you can actually do very quick searches, which are what we call as similarity searches. And this is the power of vector database. And we make it super simple with Einstein Copilot search. So how does it work? Let's say here that is a customer who wants to actually check. So they actually go to a bot or a service bot or a bot that is actually available on a website. And they want to check, is this customer eligible for an upgrade? It's a question that an employee is asking. Let's say customer is calling an employee, a customer service, and he wants to figure out, is this customer really eligible for an upgrade? We can actually run a similarity search based on the customer profile and other things that the customer has been doing across your business, and figure out, using some case details, using some engagement history and other loyalty things and unstructured information, and actually figure out if that customer is really eligible for upgrade. We can augment it with a prompt, send it to LLM, and retrieve the relevant information. This is the power of vector database as well as Copilot. Now let's actually see everything in action. So for that, actually let me bring Kamari on stage to actually run through a very quick demo on how we can actually power of the Einstein Copilot search.
Thank you, Prithvi. So let's talk about how the power of Einstein Copilot is being compounded with new search features. So here we are in our setup. We see that we have an Einstein Copilot. It's active. It's enabled in our organization. So let's click into this Copilot, and that we can see the details of this Copilot. We have a description. We also have a number of actions. So these are the actions that Prithvi was referencing. We have some custom actions that have been created by an admin. That can be flows or Apex. And we also have a number of standard actions that have been shipped by Salesforce. So now let's customize and test our Einstein Copilot. So as you see on the left, we have that library of actions that I referenced earlier. And so we also have in the middle our planner service, where our Einstein Copilot is going to show us how it's reasoning through these tasks, how it's picking from that library of actions and using it to create a plan to answer a query. So let's ask it a question. Let's say, give me shipping info for Jonna Adams. So what's happening here, it's identifying that Jonna Adams is a contact. It's also mapping the fact that we have an action over here, a FedEx shipment flow. So it's going to know to take that action and run that flow. So what's special about that flow? That flow actually includes Data Cloud, and it's able to run a 0 ETL for a Snowflake query. So we're pulling in that data into our Copilot. So as you can see here, the input is the contact name, Jonna Adams, and we're able to generate a short summary on what's happening with the issue of Jonna Adams. So unfortunately, Jonna's shipment has been canceled. So now let's see, give me similar cases with fees. So what's happening right now is that we're using what Prithvi referenced, which is retrieval augmented generation. And we're able to see our Einstein Copilot can identify the word fees and understand that's the subject that we're looking to do a vector search on. So it's pulling in similar cases that have been handled and resolved using fees. So as you can see, we have a list of cases that have either have incurred membership fees or been resolved with fees. And we're able to look at this library of cases. We can also click View More if we want to learn more about other cases, and it can help to empower our agents to resolve cases similar to Jonna Adams. Awesome. That's it. Thank you.
So that was awesome, right? Hopefully you got the idea of how we can actually enable the Einstein Copilot search and vector database and bring it all together into one platform. Now, that's not what all we have. We have done some tremendous amount of work with AI research in order to bring other kinds of LLMs for you. So one of the things that we did, which you might have played, if not, I encourage you to go and actually start looking at, is Einstein for Developers and Einstein for Flow. What's so powerful about this? AI research actually has built a very specific LLM model which actually you can use in order to build Apex classes as well as testing in all of this using LLM. And it's very powerful. If you have not tried it, I encourage you to do so. Similarly, we have done the same thing with Flow. I know it's so hard in order to actually develop a Flow, even though Flow is a easy tool in order to do things, but it gets complicated. If you have a very complex workflow, it actually takes time in order to get it right. So how can I do that? With Einstein for Flow, with its natural language query, it will actually automatically generate a flow for you with simple natural language tasks. So with CodeGen, what happens? CodeGen allows you to actually build your apps very, very quickly. So it actually allows you to boost your accuracy, so you don't have to think what you have to code. You just have to express what you want to code, and it will help you to code for you. Second, with trust and security, we actually build for you. So essentially, you know there are so many kinds of limits, sharing rules in platform. It is very, very hard for a developer to keep all of that in mind when they are building the application. And most often than not, you will actually have certain loopholes in your code. With CodeGen, we actually make it so simple for you. You can actually go ahead and do things very, very quickly. Einstein for Developers is already available. You should actually go and check it out. I'm not going to spend too much on this slide but our code completion is there. There is actually a lot of other features that we are actually going to build on, and they are actually available in open beta. Einstein for Flow is also an existing feature that we are actually giving out for you. This is super powerful. I encourage you to try it as well. It allows you to do very, very quickly workflows in your organization. It is going to get GA in winter. It's available in pilot in spring. So what we spoke about is a lot of things that we are actually doing in terms of for developers. We are actually also doing a lot of work in terms of how we are actually building the XGen model. In order to talk about all of this, let me actually bring on Shelby, our rock star senior researcher who has been working on this day in and day out in order to get you all of this. Thank you, Shelby.
Thank you so much, Prithvi. So that was great. So yeah, as Prithvi was saying, CodeGen, our in-house code generation model, is powering these amazing time-saving experiences. We've got the time-saving experiences for developers, and we've got the time-saving process automation. So if you haven't already checked out Einstein for Developers and Einstein for Flow, check it out to up-level your workflows. And now, I'm here today to tell you about the future, to tell you about what we're working on right now. And the future is very bright. What you just saw for CodeGen is just scratching the surface on what we have going on. In fact, we've got 3 new experiences in the works right now: Einstein for Sales, Einstein for Field Service, Einstein for Industries, all in the works and all powered by our in-house LLMs called XGen. Meet XGen. XGen is our in-house family of large language models trained right here at Salesforce. It's trained from scratch from our researchers right here. And so what that means is we have complete control over that training data. You can't say that about other models. So we have complete control over the training data. In fact, it's ethically and legally reviewed. And so what that means is XGen is truly a trusted LLM. And we built XGen with our customers in mind. We had you in mind when we built XGen. And XGen is great for email generation, as you can see, web content, Q&A, question and answering, information extraction, summarization, revision. So XGen is just an all-around winner. And I'm not just saying that, guys. We have the numbers to back that up. So our studies have shown that XGen is robust. In fact, XGen performs well on tasks involving small amounts of text, but also the more challenging scenario of long text tasks. So think about long document summarization, long dialogue summarization, both of which we see a lot in Salesforce. XGen is also versatile. It performs well on text and coding tasks. And most importantly, everyone, XGen is high performing. It's among the top performing open source LLMs out there. So if this sounds interesting to you and you want to dive into the tech, check out our tech report. It is openly available. Feel free to check that out, see our studies. And if you're interested in XGen yourself, you want to play with it, it's completely open sourced, everyone. So go ahead and check out XGen, play with it yourself, and see the great performance. So with all that great work about XGen, it's no surprise that we envision XGen powering the future of Salesforce. Right? So that is what I'm here to tell you about today. And we've got 3 experiences forthcoming for you. The first is Einstein for Industries. Imagine you're a banking professional working with clients. You've got their financial information, but you've also got their goals. And imagine you want to build wealth-building strategies for them. You can do that with XGen. The next experience we're working on is Einstein for Field Service. Imagine you're a field service agent. You're out on a repair job, fixing some nuanced equipment. And you need to have some information on how to exactly fix that. Well, you can get that information right in your pocket with XGen on mobile devices. And finally, we're working on Einstein for Sales. Imagine you're a salesperson using our Sales Cloud, and you need instant insights on your sales calls. We've got your back with XGen. Now, I'd love to go through all of these today, but we're just going to focus on one. Today, we're going to focus on Einstein for Field Service. So I'm really excited to tell you about this one. So field service. So Salesforce, we are the #1 platform for field service. And our platform serves frontline workers. So by frontline workers, I mean installation professionals, repair professionals, and so on. And so we're serving these professionals across all of industry. And as you can imagine, as many organizations are feeling today, field service organization, they're feeling the squeeze of the economy. And to meet the increasing demands, they're expecting more personalization, more efficiency. They need to work faster, right? They need increased retention. They're having trouble hiring and retaining their workers. And of course, they need increased service margins. So they're feeling the squeeze. And one of the biggest blockers to addressing these points is returning to the same job over and over again. In fact, we found that 33% of truck rolls require a second trip. So what that means is, imagine you're a frontline worker, you're out on a repair job, you go to the job, you have to return at least one more time to finish that job. That is cutting into margins, cutting into efficiency, cutting into retention. And so what is the cause of that? The cause of that is insufficient information when they get to the job. Insufficient information and wrong diagnosis. And so what we think here at Salesforce is, what if we could provide the right information at the right time to the right person? That would increase the chance that they get the job done the first time. And so what is the type of information that will be helpful for these frontline workers? Well, of course, like customer service histories, that's always helpful. But critically, information to actually help them repair the equipment or do the job, highly technical, nuanced information, that is going to be the key for them to get the job done. And they agree on this. In fact, 81% of field service professionals report that they need to phone an expert for repair assistance. So they're doing whatever they can to get that information at the right time. So imagine this. What if we could provide every frontline worker with the right information they needed right on their mobile device? That's what you're going to see in this next demo. This next demo is going to show you an experience from a field service worker on the job, fixing a washing machine and needing to get the right information, and they're getting it right on their phone. And the best part, it's powered by our in-house LLM, XGen. So let's take a look.
Field service technicians spend more time finding relevant information for the countless appliances that exist than helping customers. Think about it. How could you possibly hold in your head or have the time to go through millions of manuals, expert advice, and training materials. That's why 81% of field service technicians end up calling an expert to ask for help. But what if you could just call Einstein? Well, let's see that in a live demo. First, let's turn off our connectivity. Many technicians have to deal with conditions that have no internet connection. Einstein helps Danny, our technician, with a specific question about an error code by accessing an on-device LLM, XGen, developed right here at Salesforce. And the result is not just summarization. These are just-in-time, tailored instructions, effectively leveling up our technicians in real time, while also enhancing trust by referencing the exact place in the documentation. Now that's trusted AI, right in your pocket.
Awesome. So I hope you guys are excited about that demo, as excited as we are. We really believe in the future of LLMs, but also getting LLMs on mobile devices. And so what you just saw is what we're calling this knowledge intelligence. So again, it's our in-house LLMs on device powering this experience where a field service agent can say, hey, I'm repairing this machine, help me repair this machine. And it will get the correct information at the right time. And it's powered by retrieval augmented generation. This is something that Prithvi talked about earlier. So really awesome stuff. And it just doesn't stop there, though. We have a bigger vision for field service. You can imagine summarization is going to be particularly important. So imagine you're a field service agent, you're out on the job, maybe you have limited internet, but you still need to know, you still need that pre-work summary. You need to know what you're going to do with this upcoming job. You also need a post-work summary. You did all that work. Let's summarize the information that you did. So that will all be powered by XGen. And we're thinking beyond text as well. Imagine a field service agent taking a photo of the broken machine and having the AI on device to analyze the error codes on those machines. So this is what we have in store for field service. Definitely stay tuned for what we put out there. Thanks so much, everyone. So up to this point, we've been talking about awesome LLM tasks. We've talked about LLMs for baking. We've talked about LLMs for field service. We've talked about LLMs for industry. Really awesome stuff, high value. So we need to continue thinking and continue pushing what we can do, what we can provide for our customers. We want Salesforce to be as easy as possible to use so that customers spend less time using it and can get more done. So what that means is we need to enable our customers to perform even more complex tasks. Let me give you an example. So say today you can say something to Einstein like, draft an email pitching our new sales feature. And that is high value, and that's amazing, right? But imagine this. What if I could instead tell Einstein, write and send pitch emails to our top 5 leads in Q2? Now, that is more complex, and let me tell you why. It's more complex because we're saying write and send multiple emails. OK, so it's more work, right? But that second part is complex. It's saying to find the top 5 leads in Q2. That is requiring Einstein to go through your Salesforce org, find the top 5 leads, right? The key here is those steps, writing the email, finding the top 5 leads. They can all also be done with an LLM. So the key insight here is that to perform increasingly complex tasks, we can apply the LLM over and over and over again. In fact, the LLM can actually be used to generate that initial plan that Prithvi was referring to. So let me refresh your memory on that. So Prithvi talked about Einstein Copilot. We're already seeing that amazing capability already there. It's already there for you guys already. So if we look at this example, this user is saying, can you create an email to Alex about our new sustainability program? Very complex. It requires us to look up Alex, requires us to look up that sustainability program. So we take that task, we pass it to the LLM. Now the LLM is creating the plan. That is output generated from an LLM. And that plan is identifying the record, drafting the email, revising the email. Now, here's the key. We're not done with the LLM. We now can use the LLM to identify the record. We use the LLM to draft the email. We use the LLM again to revise the email. So the point here that I want you guys to understand is that this system, this general system where we use an LLM to make a plan, and then we use the LLM over and over again to actually execute the plan, is what we refer to as LLM-powered agents. This is what the tech industry and the research industry refers to it as. So LLM-powered agents, that is what we call it. And so as Preeti mentioned, we have this in Copilot, but I'm here to tell you about what other things we're working on for the future. So we have a big vision for this, okay? And it's grounded on strong LLMs. So that first box over there on the left for LLMs, that's where XGen, that's where CodeGen lives. They've got to be strong in order for the other pieces in LLM-powered agents to be strong. So that's what we talked about today. I told you about Einstein for field service, for sales, for industries. LLMs, they're going to be used all over the place. That's great. And then we can take it to the next level. Not just use the LLM for a single task, but use the LLM to plan. Use the LLM to execute steps in that plan. That is the second box here, the LLM-powered agents. And so Einstein Copilot is a demonstration of that, which is awesome. And then in research, we have some other work going on here. So it's called what we call large action models. So we know large language models, LLMs. We're developing what we're called LAMs, large action models. And these are LLMs that are super good at planning, at generating actions, not just generating text, but generating actions. And so it's going to be a key for the LLM-powered agents. And so I want to finish telling you about this vision so you can see what's coming next in Salesforce. And as we think into the future and as we want to provide more and more ability to our customers, we believe that one agent may not be enough. We believe you may need a network of agents. So now we're thinking to the future, everyone. So here, let me explain why. So a single agent, we know has a ton of potential, right? It can plan, it can execute actions. But like individuals, like anything else, one agent is not necessarily a jack of all trades. Okay, the agents have their limits, it has their capacity. And so what we're seeing here is the multi-agent network, a general framework here where multiple agents are working together to achieve an even more complex task. And we believe this is going to be key for enabling more and more in Salesforce. And the technical insight here is that each agent is specialized. That's what's unique here. So each agent is hyper-focused on a few tasks, hyper-focused on a certain domain. And so they've really mastered that area, right? And so what that translates to is improved task accuracy down the road. And so this is really, really cutting edge. We're really talking about the future here, cutting edge research here. And so I wanted to also share some of our recent work on this. So we just recently released Agent Lite. It's an openly available library on GitHub. So I highly recommend you all check that out. If you want to quickly spin up a multi-agent network yourself and solve complex tasks, definitely use Agent Lite. If this is interesting to you, we also wrote a technical report, openly available. You can learn more about the research and the tech behind it. So that wraps up the vision for multi-agent networks. Now we're finally at the end of the vision. And this is what we envision. We want to move ultimately towards more autonomy. And again, the reason is because that's going to enable you to do more in Salesforce, right? So we want more autonomy. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. We've definitely got a lot of work to do, but we've identified 3 key areas that will get us there. So these are 3 areas we are actively researching to get us to increased autonomy, which means increased efficiency in Salesforce. The first is personalization. So we believe that these agents need to be able to learn from user preferences. That's going to make it more autonomous, right? So it needs to learn from likes, dislikes, goals, style, previous interactions. It needs to learn from all of these things, and that's going to help make the agent more autonomous. We're working on research there. The second critical feature here is proactive actions. So up to this point, we've talked about agents that are always responding to the user. Like the user has to say, I want to do X and X, and then the agent works on that behalf. But what if the agent had some knowledge of a big picture goal for the user and could work proactively? So for example, the agent could stay on the lookout for signals that would help the user achieve their bigger goals. Like maybe there's new articles, it could flag the user about these new articles, or it can leverage new data automatically without even notifying the user, things like this. So we believe that that's going to be really important for increasing autonomy. And finally, persistent memory. So we believe that more autonomous agents need to be able to learn on their own over time. So they need to learn from their successes and failures, and that's only possible with persistent memory. And so, yeah, so that wraps up the vision for LLM-powered agents. And so the key here is that whether we're building, for all the AI we're building, whether it was the LLMs I talked about earlier or these LLM-powered agents, trust is always top of mind for us. And with that, I will pass it off to Prithvi, who's going to talk about our commitment to trusted AI.
Thank you, Shelby. That was awesome, right? You guys enjoyed it? Let's actually quickly talk about how, as the technology advances and the future is changing on us, if you see what all amazing innovation Salesforce has in store for you. But remember, trust is our #1 value. And everything that we build in Salesforce is built on trust. So what we have delivered in Einstein 1 platform is the Einstein Trust Layer. So whether it's future innovations that is coming or Einstein Copilot, everyone uses this foundational piece, which is the Einstein Trust Layer. So how does it work? You have all the apps on the side. It actually, you have a prompt that actually is generated by these apps. It goes through our different kinds of layer. One is the secure data retrieval layer. This is your Salesforce. This is your data cloud. This is all the things that you actually bring in within Salesforce. Everything is trusted within Salesforce. It actually takes that information, whether it's vector database or anything that you saw before, makes it as a grounding information. So what is grounding? It actually puts it in the prompt. But that's not where we stop. We actually take that information and do masking on top of it. We have sophisticated models that we have built for you in order to actually mask that information before it actually goes to LLM. However, whatever happens, even in case if something gets leaked out, we have a zero retention policy with all our vendors. So what does that mean? None of our vendors that we are working with can actually use that data in order to train it. They cannot even log it. So what that means is any data that is actually going out of Salesforce is trusted and secure. It's your data, you keep it, no one sees it. After that, it actually comes back to us. We actually do the generation back from LLMs. We actually run toxicity on top of it. So everything that actually goes and comes back, you have information whether the content was toxic or the generation was not good enough. And of course, in all of this, we actually maintain an audit trail. You can all go back and look at all the feedback that was generated using the feedback framework, whether it's labeled feedback or an auto-generated feedback, you see everything within Salesforce. And that's what we actually have delivered with Einstein Trust Layer. So whether it's now or in future, with Einstein Trust Layer, we have you covered. Now, remember, a lot of innovation was showcased today. However, we do believe LLMs tend to be inaccurate in a lot of cases. So we always need human in the loop. With all the technology advancements that we have done, we still need some kind of human judgment to be there. Whether it's a toxic information, you are providing feedback. The more you provide, the better it enables you. So what we have today, we have some of the things that I mentioned in the diagram already today, which is secure data retrieval, data masking, zero data retention, and toxicity scoring. This all is available today. We have the feedback framework, wherein you can actually go and look at every generation right now. We have prompt defense. So anything that any customers that are actually using prompt, there is no way to actually jailbreak any LLM. However, that's not done. We are actually putting a lot of things on our trust layer because that's our #1 value. So whether it's actually dynamic grounding, We are actually adding audit trails so that you can always go back and look at everything, including from Copilot. We are actually adding configurations by which you can actually look at all this information and also provide data masking features. We are going to add bias detection, hallucination detection. All this is coming in further out. So what we have covered today is lots and lots of information for you. Something that is available today, something is available in near future, but our vision is bright. We have actually made sure that we have provided you enough information to actually take something out of this session. However, not everything is done. Please explore the park. Please explore everything out in TDX. There are lots and lots of innovation that we are actually building in terms of Einstein. So look out for Einstein Lookout Zone. Look at the demos, workshops, and Einstein Copilot. You will actually be fascinated in order to see where the technology is going. More importantly, remember all the things that Shelby mentioned. Look at all the innovations that we are doing for future, such as Agent Light. Look at the papers that Salesforce Research has been publishing. Some of them are really stunning. Go ahead and take it, and thank you so much here. And I want to thank Shelby as well as Kamaria and all the staff who have actually made this happen. So thanks a lot. Thank you so much for being here, and enjoy your rest of TDX.